non-binaries and transgenders. This is the Heelz Wrestling Podcast, live from Bravery Studios, Clifton, New Jersey. I am Dark Messiah, the Dark Side Saver, always and forever on his worst behavior. Mr. DM, finding your mama's DMs. Why? Because I'm trying to get my baby. Nobody can stop me. And on the phone, as always, the OG, the triple OG of the Ultra Heels that talks all the shit.
Y'all already know who it is. Your boy Alex, the motherfucking Hill, a.k.a. the Stan Lee of podcasting, and also known as the leader of the Mr. McMahon group, and also known as the man to be a girl to cripple a crossface and make her run to a crossface.
Bow. And on the boards, the newest addition to the Ultra Heels, the only man that can be mentioned in the same conversation as Billy Graham, our superstar, Sal.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
I like that. That was smooth transition right into today.
Yeah, and happy birthday to the homeboy X-Man Dan. It's not a sham. It's not a scam. It's the real X-Man Dan on Instagram. Go holla at him, fam.
Oh, did you see the picture I posted on his Facebook?
Yeah, when we got to see Drew Galloway.
I want people to know you follow X-Men Dan online and you look at that photo. I am only 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Drew Galloway is that much taller than me.
Yeah, he wears. I believe he wears lifts in his boots.
He do, because he talks shit. When we were like, "Can we get a photo?" He was like, "Damn, you got me without my boots on." Shit. Okay, let's just do it. Let's do it real quick. I was like, "Wait a minute, why the fuck are you not that much taller than me?"
Yeah, he has like 3-inch lifts in his boots. He's not actually 6'5", or however tall he claims to be.
That's funny. But how are y'all doing though?
I didn't have to fight anybody at work. That's always a good week when I don't have to put hands on people.
That sounds boring. At Home Depot, I want to put hands on everybody.
I mean, I want to, but it's not a position where I can do it and get away with it.
You work in a corporate.
It's a position of my job. I can get away with it. As long as they touch me first, the rule applies to me defending myself. I just be wanting them to do it, but they be scared. I need somebody to man up so they can just touch me, my shoulders. So I can just throw them on the ground.
I'll tell this story again for Sal. A couple months ago, so credit card scammer came in, right? We peeped it from the jump, right? Because our computers can tell when it's not the actual card that matches what you swiped. So anyway, we called the police, and then my boss is just trying to stall the guy while the police come, because it's literally across the street. It's a small town that we work in. It's across the street and 2 doors over, so they just got to drive basically across the street. So my boss is trying to stall a guy. He shoved my boss, right? So I just swooped in, hurt lock, and pinned him against the window.
All right.
and then he had the nerve to tell the police that I choked him.
You're a rather large individual, so that I imagine you could throw a lot of people in that hurt lock. And
my actual dream is to German suplex somebody through the window, like Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle.
I could help you. I could help make that dream a reality one day.
I'm waiting for somebody to swing at me with a punch so I can just grab them and do it.
First of all, I like where Sal is going. He said he can help you. Maybe he help me with my dream. Because I just always want to put somebody in an ankle lock for real and really snap their ankle. And I know I can. I've done it almost 3 different times, but I keep getting stopped by other human beings that keep stopping me in the middle of fights.
I don't know if I'd be willing to be on the receiving end of that. However,
no. You be the receiving end. You just need to be the decoy to stop the people from stopping me.
Yeah, there you go. All right, biggest wrestling event of the week. The Cleaner is now Impact Unified Heavyweight Champion with the help of the Invisible Hand Don Callis.
Hey, quick question. Have any of y'all ever seen the live action version of Black Dynamite?
No, I have not.
No.
Okay. There's a scene in there because it plays off of the 70s where, they used to do mistakes and shit and they used to just cut it and keep it going.
Uh-huh.
There's a scene where somebody gets shot and Michael John White character goes, "Who saw that coming? I mean, where did that come from? Who saw that coming? Who saw the Cleaner taking that?"
Everybody.
Did already think it was happening regardless? Like, it was a good match. It's just that we knew the outcome before it happened.
Yeah, exactly. Going into it, it was like, did Rich Swann really have a chance of winning? Did anybody legitimately think he had a chance of winning?
No. And I'm a huge Rich Swann fan.
Uh-huh.
But in no way, shape, or form did I think he was walking out of that.
I thought at the very least there'd end up being some like schmaz and be a double DQ. I'm like, that's the smallest glimmer of hope we have.
You know what though? If you do that, especially on that pay-per-view, which apparently did really well, you run the risk of turning off a new potential audience, which
Bingo.
you don't want to do, which
Bingo.
is the exact opposite of why they got into this business relationship.
Especially because you had Callis and the Good Brothers ringside, and then Swann brought out Willie Mack and who was it? Eddie Edwards?
Maybe was it Moose?
No, it wasn't. I think it was Eddie Edwards who was with him, right? It was Eddie Edwards and Willie Mack. So I'm like, you have the components ringside to have a fuck job in this match, but none of them even played a part in the match. The only thing, you had a ref bump, and Aubrey came in, but then the original ref got back up, and Aubrey just went back to ringside.
I'm not gonna lie though.
I didn't see the match. I seen that she got involved.
Yeah,
and but the way you describe it seems very
it was real simple. Rich Swann went for a springboard cutter, and Omega just shoved the ref in front of him. So the ref took the springboard cutter, and then Aubrey slides in. Kenny Omega goes to get a chair. Aubrey takes a chair from Kenny, and eventually, whatever, after like the next series of moves, the other ref gets up, and then Aubrey just goes back to ringside, and that was the whole ref bump. There was no controversy or anything.
That seems like a waste of it.
They try to make
exactly.
this match as clean as they can get it. They try to make this match as clean as they could get it because they knew Kenny Omega coming in as the heel from a different company was going to do something dramatic to win, and everybody knew Rich Swann wasn't going to do anything undermine it, so they just gave him just a regular all-out match. Like I said, it was good as fuck.
Except for those two big-ass botches.
Yeah.
I don't mind botches in wrestling,
but those were big because they're just standing there on the top trying to figure out whatever they were doing. I think the first one was supposed to be a Spanish fly, and I don't know what went wrong there.
Fun fact for our listeners: my trainer is the one that invented that move.
Okay.
I would never do it in wrestling. If I ever had to go wrestler, I would never do it.
It actually doesn't look complicated.
It's not the fact that it looks complicated. It's the fact that I'm already scared of height. And you think I'm going to get on top rope and do something backwards that I can't control myself, and I don't give a fuck who's holding me to control it? No.
No, actually, you'd be
surprised. What I do from top rope is a headbutt or a frog splash. The most I'm going.
Really, all you're doing on that is doing a flip off the top.
Yeah.
They're doing all the pretty, making it look pretty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like the island in me will be all for it, but the Spanish and black in me are going to be like, you got the game fucked up, and I'm gonna hurt something on myself. I know me.
And then the second botch was, I think Kenny was trying to go for an avalanche one-winged angel, right?
Oh, I didn't watch the match.
Oh yeah, you said you didn't watch it. Yeah, because Rich Swann is on top of Kenny Omega's shoulders, and they're on the middle rope, and then they just collapsed. And Kenny Omega just took a bump for no reason.
I don't mind botches in the sense of, because I feel like sometimes, especially with Omega, who's just so crisp, it's almost too clean.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I like to see make it a little more realistic. Like, all right, you messed up. It happens. Like in a real fight, sometimes things go wrong.
Kelvin's in the building. What's good, people? Good people. It's the man of the myth, the legend, Commissioner Kelvin. Sending prayers to Steve Mongo McMichael. I'm assuming he's ill. And Valdor's in the chat. What up, Valdor?
You. Before how would you rate the pay-per-view all around?
Okay, I didn't watch the whole pay-per-view. All I watched was that match. I'll be honest. That's all I watched.
I watched about 90% of it. I didn't see the first match. I missed that because I forgot the shit was on because I was in the middle of having a conversation in my house. So the match after that, going forward to the end, I saw, but I didn't get to see the first match.
Oh,
I
wait.
I haven't went and looked it up either.
I take that back. I watched like 3 minutes of Josh Alexander winning the X Division title.
I did like that Eric Young in a match.
Mm-hmm.
Where we got Cass, a.k.a. Big Ass, a.k.a. Cass XL, a.k.a. what is it?
William Morrissey?
I think it's Morrissey.
Yeah. Morrissey? Okay.
That's his shoot.
That's like the most.
Yeah, that's his real name,
That's like the most un-Italian fake name ever on the planet.
Well, it's his real name, so it's whatever.
I know. Just saying in general, it just sounds like the most. It sounds like if the Sopranos had to make up a character, that would be the name of the character to get off in 10 minutes.
I don't understand why he didn't use Cass XL.
There might be issues.
Or just Cass.
I don't know why, but I feel like he is scared to do that because WWE might try to do some stupid shit. So he just went all the way around the board. Because Impact's on TV.
Right.
Indie shows ain't on TV, so you can get away with saying whatever the hell you want. But once you get on TV with a rival company with Vince, you don't want to try to go up there unless you are really using your real name from the start. Like how RVD uses his name since ECW, like he owns that.
Right.
The Hardys own their real name, so they can say whatever the hell they want to. For him, nah. I think he like, look, I just got back in the game. I'm off of alcohol. I'm healthy. I don't need no more shit bothering me right now. I just want to know how long it's going to take before Enzo show up to help him when something goes wrong.
Yeah. I wouldn't be against it.
I like Enzo as a personality.
Yeah.
In the ring, obviously.
I just like Enzo just in general. I don't give a damn about in-ring ability because I've seen worse over the course of years.
Mm-hmm. Well, back to our main event. When the match first started, I'm like, okay, they're moving kind of slow. Nothing's offended me yet. We did not get best Bout Machine Kenny, but for a good reason. This was a different Kenny Omega than we're used to seeing. This was more of a slow, calm, calculated, I'm just going to beat on you until you can't get back up, Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm. This wasn't our cleaner from New Japan,
right?
Where he would do 37 moves in a matter of a minute.
Yeah, he kept it real slow. He kept it vicious, strikes, power moves, and there was just, I beat you.
That's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised because I'm not the biggest Kenny Omega fan. I accept that he's a super talented guy, but I do not accept him as one of the greatest ever.
Oh, there's a wrestler out there to see different.
To me, he's like a notch above Dolph Ziggler. He's really, really, really great, but he needs somebody else to lead him to the top.
I don't think so. I think he's way ahead of Dolph. I'm not willing to put him into that greatest category ever yet because he hasn't really done it in the States yet. I mean, he is now currently.
Uh-huh.
But,
yeah.
I mean, as far as what I've seen.
I guess because he hasn't had that like super banger in America yet. To me, it's always Okada. It was because of Okada. It was because of Naito. It was because of Jericho. Yes, he's super talented, but he's not the guy. He's the supporting character to the guy.
To really be honest, it's not even Naito, it's not even Okada, it's not even Jericho. It's just New Japan in general. Because he can have one with a 5-star match. Anybody in New Japan, big name or non-big name. Over here, most people still don't know who the fuck he is.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody's really trying to give him a damn of a look. But there are other wrestlers looking at him because Daniel Bryan had a talk on a podcast where he damn near praised Kenny Omega as and saying that he sees wrestling a lot different than most people right now. He saw everybody else is trying to please the upper management. Kenny's out there just living the goddamn dream. He's just doing what he's been wanting to do since he was a fucking kid.
Well, let's not forget Kenny is upper management.
Yeah, well, so Triple H, but look how far that went up and down for him over the course of the year.
I've really enjoyed Omega's 2 matches on pay-per-view with Moxley.
I
think the match
minus the lack of an explosion.
Yeah, no, that was terrible. But up until that very moment, I thought that was phenomenal. I enjoyed that. I'm a big deathmatch wrestling fan, so to be able to see something like that on like American pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's how you do a garbage match with a budget.
Yeah,
basically.
It was very good. But that last 30 seconds. And it's a shame because they built it up so good. Like, the announcers were like really in like peril, like get him out of there.
The least thing they could have done was just, all the entrance pyro, just blow all the entrance pyro at once. That could have been like the least amount of thing you could do if you don't want to actually blow up something around them. Just blow off all the entrance pyro at once.
I think
They could have did
the
that.
ring.
They could have
a
did
la
that, or
Big
they could
Show.
did some. Look, they could did that, or they could did some TV show quality explosion. They could have had something explode a little different place everywhere in the arena, and hit the main camera, so it went sideways, so like a real explosion actually happened in there.
Or that, yeah. There were so many ways around that they just
Could have shook the camera. You know what
something.
Camera could have shook. Somebody on the side of the ring could have had the camera and fell back because the explosion was too much. It would have made it more entertaining. But once you put the hard camera right in the middle of the ring, and then you get to see the whole ring, you're like, yeah. I could do this in the backyard with a wrestling ring and some firecrackers.
I think it would have looked great if they would have collapsed the ring too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, had a WWE OGM moment and just collapsed on one side. It made more sense. Like, okay, the explosion blew away some of the steel in the ring. Okay, now I'm a little excited, but you had sparklers and smokers go off.
But I think in their defense,
it's just like dying.
In their defense, I think they had more planned. I think it was just a malfunction, which happens.
Could be.
It's just unfortunate that it happened in that moment.
Kelvin said, sounded like a created character name. He was talking about Big Cass. Kelvin said that was PWG Kenny Omega. And
yeah, that is true. That is PWG Kenny Omega, because that's the way he used to wrestle before. I just thought about it. Yeah, he's right. Fuck.
And then
he's wrestled slow and hurt you.
And then Valdor said, I'm going to agree with Darth about Kenny Omega. However, I've only seen him in 2 matches.
That's all you really need to see, man. You want to see him in a dumb, stupid match? Type Kenny Omega versus Little Girl or Kenny Omega versus Blow Up Doll, and watch that man make that Blow Up Doll look like a 5-star match for no fucking reason by himself.
The man is not lying. He made that girl look like $1 million.
Dark.
That was Riho, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Somebody told me that grew up to be Riho.
It's possible.
It probably could have. But the match with him and the Blow Up Doll,
because apparently she's been professional for 17 years, even though she's like 22.
Look, Dark, the match with him and the Blow Up Doll is the most funniest match ever, because he gave himself 5 Canadian destroyers with the Blow Up Doll.
Yeah. I've seen pieces of it. Yeah,
definitely ridiculous. But if you go into it with the right mindset of like, this is not wrestling, it's hilarious, and it's well done. Like, you almost forget he's wrestling a blow-up doll for a second.
And what makes it sad is the crowd was so behind it, like he was really wrestling somebody that was alive in the ring.
Yeah, that
WWE fans would have been like, this shit is corny, or they'd have said this shit sucks, or fuck you. Well, they'd have booed that whole match the whole way through.
That promotion is called DDT in Japan, and that's like what they're known for. They're known for like I think Sami Zayn used to wrestle there, and they've wrestled in parks. You know what I mean? Like, they do zany shit like that. So chances are fans of that company know what they're getting into when they watch it.
No offense, I kind of want that here, because I kind of need that kind of laugh here and there.
That's what Talking Shop Mania is for, probably. They do a lot of ridiculous shit like that.
Oh, that's right. There's a wrestling match tomorrow.
Is there?
Down here in North Carolina, there's a wrestling match tomorrow. Brian Cage and a couple of people from AEW is going to be here. It's like $15. I might have to go check that out.
There's a couple guys down there that I know. The Gym Nasty Boys.
Yes, I met one of them once. They came to my Walmart when I used to work at Walmart, when they was doing a lot more indie stuff way before this shit. I didn't know who the fuck they were. They just came in like wrestling gear to come buy some random shit. It was weird. Them and R-Truth came in there, and boy, sudden, and people were like trying to figure out why this black man's walking around with a G-Unit shirt on, shiny as hell for him to be that dark. And I was like, that's R-Truth. Excuse me, guys. I got to walk over there and get a handshake or something. Everybody at my job didn't know who the hell he was.
R-Truth is the man. He's a legend.
That man's a vampire.
Yes.
So you do realize the sneakerheads are mad at the Young Bucks again, right?
Oh, yeah, for the Jordan 11 Adapts.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad. You got the money, why not? Look, I'm going to tell you right now. I had an argument with a guy on my job. I showed him a picture. If I got the money to spend any kind of amount that has a comma in it on a sneaker, motherfucker, that shoe getting wear for the same amount of days I spent money on it. I'm not about to let them shit sit in a closet.
Let's see. Currently on Flight Club, 738. Stadium Goods, 680. StockX, 725.
And they wrestled in them. Hell, The Jordan Dior ones are a what, a $1,500 shoe?
Yeah. Oh, no,
And they was a
no. Those are
beautiful-
10,000. Those are 10,000.
I'm sorry right now. I want the Nike Air Max, the Back to the Futures. In my size off Flight Club, they are $75,000. For
Shit.
$75,000, look, $75,000, them bitches getting wore for 75,000 days straight. They becoming workout shoes, throw the trash out shoes, walk the dog shoes. I'm wearing them for everything. Matter of fact, I might go running in them. I don't give a fuck. I spent the money on these. That's like buying a mansion and going to live in your car. It's the dumbest thing ever.
If you want the 2016 editions, they're 100,000.
Whenever I hit the Mega Ball in North Carolina.
If you want the
Get a photo with me
2016
with
release, it's 100,000.
Anybody
Look.
who would spend that much money on a pair of sneakers needs to be put away somewhere. I don't care how much money you have. That is ridiculous.
I would, because that's the only shoe I wanted as a kid that I knew that if it became real, I wanted it. I couldn't get it the first time. I couldn't get it the second.
$100,000?
Hey,
I'd rather jump off a bridge.
What is the most I've ever? I think the most I've ever spent on shoes is a pair of Timberlands. They were like $325.
Most I ever spent was about $150 on a pair of Jordans that I ruined the next day because they were white, and I'm an idiot.
a pair of Jordans, the most I ever spent for was like $450, and that was because my size is a common size, so them shit sold out, and it was that's the only way I was getting. I wasn't spending no more than that. But like I said, I hit the make a million, and the Mega Million, I hit like 330 million. You take out your tax point out of it, nigga, I ain't spending all that money. And shit, I'm gonna go buy that one shoe, and after that, I'm gonna be like Bill Gates rocking them Toms.
150, 175, 175 divided by 2. You're looking at about 85 million.
Dude, you think I can spend 85 million at any rate of my life? All I'm doing is buying a house, adding on shit to it I want, getting my game room, buying them shoes, and I'm still gonna be probably left with like 70 million. And that money just gonna be sit on, bro, just to do jobs and start businesses after that point. I don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
I don't know how people that are like wrestling fans can go to WrestleMania and every pay-per-view and travel around the world when they had audiences. And they like, yeah, I work a regular 9 to 5. How are you doing this? 9 to 5, and I can't barely live. How the fuck are y'all doing all these damn things?
They must be buying crypto like I am.
Shit, I need to get into that.
Yeah, I bought some dog coin last week, and of course, I bought it at its fucking highest price ever, and now it's gone down like 20 cents.
My girl bought some yesterday strictly because Elon Musk bought some.
Yeah, I bought it last week. It was 34 cents. I think when I checked it last night, it was 25 cents. So I've lost the money in a week. But it'll go back up. We are not giving out financial advice just for legal purposes.
I'm not giving out nothing. My credit's fucked up, so fuck y'all. I'm not giving out no advice. Whatever you tell me, I'm just going to agree with what you said. I'm not going to look stupid and tell you some shit and you fucked up. Like how you looking like WCW.
Saying we're never giving out advice to people.
Yeah, do not give out financial advice. You end up in jail for that kind of shit. Wait, what else did I want to talk about today? RK Bros. Where is this the tag team we've always wanted and didn't know we wanted?
No.
You don't like it?
No, it's not a tag team that we wanted, but I am greatly pleased to have it. Because I like seeing Randy with other people and seeing how he worked with them. Because this ain't young asshole Randy that was damn near getting kicked out of the bag everywhere. This is Randy that be like, I hate all of you, but we'll wrestle with you for a tag team match.
Have you seen the Broken Skull sessions with Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Okay, I just caught it this 2 weeks ago. Because I literally watched it right after the Jericho one because I'm like a couple episodes behind. So him like talking about how he had that interaction with the Undertaker and how the Undertaker took bumps for him when he didn't have to, and now how Randy he's finally realized that he literally has been given chance after chance after chance because of his name, that he's now at a point in his career where he wants to give back, and I think that's what's happening with Riddle.
I just feel like it's inevitably gonna go like Orton turns on him, and it's like,
oh yeah,
and that's why it bothers me. It's like it's so obvious what's about to happen And it's like, why? I don't even want to watch unless, you know what, don't get me wrong. If they extend this for like 6, 7, 8 months.
Like they win the tag titles.
Yeah, and give them a run with it and let them actually like be a team for a while. Then I'll be like all on board. But right now it just seems like, all right, we're going to break them up in a couple weeks. And
Yeah.
We're going to fight at the next paper.
And have Riddle get the big win over Randy.
I don't even see that
Oh,
happening.
you don't even see that happening? Wow, okay.
I would like that. I like
The sad thing is, I kind of see it happening for the simple fact that Riddle's at a point in WWE where he's just a watered down version of RVD, and he will never be nothing more than a mid card guy. So pairing him with Randy, it at least boosts him up somewhere in the eyes or somewhere in the back to make him want to do more stuff. Even if he has a match with Randy and Randy turned on him, at least you know that he will have more of a fan base than people that didn't like him because he was by himself. He was Randy. They're going to like him. And if Randy turned on him, all they're going to want to do is see like him get his revenge. Just like how they did with MVP when he had that 6-month losing streak and the crowd was getting behind him when nobody liked him at that time. And then once he got that win, everybody was on his ass and they just started liking him. I think that's how WWE just work people now. If you aren't getting over with people in the back, they just put you with somebody or make you lose your matches enough to a point that people start feeling bad for you. They couldn't do it with Roman. It was impossible with him. You can't force feed him down nobody's throat. But hell, just like they did with Owens. Just like they did with Owens. Owens was with the New Day for what? One Raw and one segment?
Oh, yeah. Because that was, I think Big E was hurt for a couple weeks, and they just needed some filler story.
And
so
it was also to set up him and Kofi for the belt.
Yeah. Big O. His name was Big O.
Big O. It's funny because there's actually a Big O on the wrestling indie scene.
Really?
So,
wow.
And that was he's been around for years, and he's actually friends with Zack Ryder.
Oh, damn. Back to Rebellion. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Apparently that was a banger match. I didn't see it.
It was a good match. And it's so weird because people online was like, I thought they was best friends. Like, what's happening? Like, more people was invested in that match, and it shouldn't have been that much investment into it, going into it. But people was talking about it on Twitter after it happened. They liked the match. There was nothing wrong with it.
What have we learned over time? Best friends put on the best matches because you already know how each other operates in the ring. So you just have instant chemistry, and you're willing to sell for your friend rather than somebody that you look at as competition.
And you're willing to hit them a little bit harder.
Yes, because you trust them more.
My only beef with this program in Impact between these two is the fact that they still do a wrestling podcast together.
Yes, while they're in a feud.
And don't get me wrong, I know it's 2021 and everybody kind of knows what the deal is.
Yeah.
And especially if you're listening to that podcast, chances are you know the deal.
Mm-hmm.
However, it still will take me out because they're going to be hating each other on television, and then that night they're probably recording.
That's like last year when Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were having their big blow-off match. That was when Mandy Rose's house got broken into, and Sonya Deville's there too. So you're both on the police report literally 3 days before your big match. It just blew all the heat for the match.
It's like when Hacksaw and Iron Sheik got arrested together back in the day.
Yeah.
For sniffing the cocaine while driving.
Have you ever heard Jim Cornette tell a story of when they first implemented drug testing in WCW?
No.
Okay, so the Iron Sheik gets drug tested, right? So he tested positive. They call Sheik into the office, and they're like, Sheik, you're positive. Oh yeah, Sheik always positive. No, that's not good.
That is something that's.
Oh yeah, Sheik positive. Oh, and then he sold out. I think it was Jake. He was like, well, what happened with Jake? I was with Jake.
Oh shit. Oh, he got.
I didn't even know Sheik was in WCW. Must have been very brief.
Or maybe it was WWF.
No, it would have had to have been WCW because I don't think Sheik and Cornette were together in WWF until later.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, it was WCW then. Yeah, or maybe it was still Jim Crockett Promotions at the time.
Maybe, yeah. Because Sheik probably went there after he got fired for sniffing coke with Hacksaw.
Probably.
But I'm telling you right now, that all y'all saying that now is starting to make me think more and more of that Matt Riddle and RVD little promo at Raw, and RVD pulled out his RVD rolling papers. And I was like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? Like, you didn't want Matt Riddle on the main roster because you didn't want Matt Riddle on the main roster or WWE because he smoked weed so much. He stopped smoking it. And the first thing y'all do once he get in the main roster, you put him with RVD, the man that smokes all the damn time still. Like that was like the whole Jeff Hardy thing when as soon as he got sober. Oh, Matt Hardy was drinking and driving and hit somebody. Why would you do that?
Are we sure Riddle stopped smoking weed?
Probably not. I
I
want to say that they've dropped it, weed testing.
I think, and if they didn't, it's ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't smoke weed, but I like. It's I don't know. That's to
I mean,
punish people for that is
unless you're in a truck driver where it's like you're not supposed to be drinking and driving,
sure,
where you can't be impaired while you're doing your job. Why are you testing?
and alcohol is 10 times worse for you than weed will ever be. So
Yeah.
don't. I'm gonna say don't say that out loud. These Gen Z kids will fight you tooth and nail and to the end.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's scientifically proven. Can't really. I got science on my side. I ain't worried.
Yeah. Why are we having a bunch of rematches in WWE going into WrestleMania Backlash, which is the dumbest rename of a pay-per-view?
You just answered your own question.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, because we've got Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, adding in Braun Strowman.
And Braun Strowman. Yeah.
Yeah, and then for some reason, I guess because we called on that they're just giving us all rematches. Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan is tonight on SmackDown.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
looking
that
forward
is
to
true.
that.
If Daniel lose, he gotta leave.
Yeah. And then you've got Big E versus Apollo Crews rematch.
Please let them have a regular match because that Nigerian drum match I don't want to see. Matter of fact, I don't want to hear about it no more. Period.
Yep. I believe there's supposed to be a Bianca and Asuka match, or did we have it on Raw this week? I forgot.
You mean Rhea?
Yeah, Rhea and Asuka.
Isn't Charlotte getting added into that mix?
Yes, there you go. Yeah, Charlotte is now in that match. Yes.
So far the trend is either rematches or we're throwing an extra
person for a
into the
triple
match.
threat. Yep.
Yeah,
Alex, didn't you once upon a time go to a really shitty Backlash?
Yeah.
Which one was this?
What was that? 2018 you went to in Newark?
Yeah. Oh
That the
my
one with
God,
the
that
AJ
was
Styles, Cena, and Ambrose started out the show?
Yeah.
Wait, no, but didn't
Yeah.
they close out with
Whatever it was a trash.
wasn't it Ziggler and Miz that night? I feel like that was a really good match.
Oh, for the IC belt? Yeah, it was a good open, good finish, trash in between.
Look, I can tell you right now, me and one of our fellow friends, Smooches, went there because she lived in Newark and she got me a ticket. We went there. Bro, that match was so fucking bad and that pay-per-view was so horrible that the camera didn't show it, but the side that we sat on was like, if the main camera was looking forward at the ring, we're like off in the upper right corner. From 6 chairs over to my left, past that camera, going around the back with the hard camera, that people was leaving. People left at the third match. It was just that bad. Like I really felt like WWE. Like I feel like if you go back and you watch it on Peacock Network now, and you go look at it, they put in cheers for certain matches, but motherfuckers was booing almost every fucking thing. It was just that bad, son. I felt like I wasted my time. I felt like I could have stayed home and watched that and been. I had a chance to turn into something else, but I was stuck there.
The only pay-per-view I've ever been
pointless.
to was the Royal Rumble in 08. That was in the Garden. And the problem with that, though, is in my younger days, I used to take a lot of Xanax. And I took a handful of that before I went in, and I don't remember much of anything of that night. And I was really mad because the only thing I do remember is being late to the show and missing Ric Flair's last match in the Garden. And I remember that really bothered me.
Gotcha.
The only good pay-per-view I went to was when me and Smooches went to the Staples Center and we went to go watch NXT TakeOver. I kid you not. I lost my voice. And that was in the first match of just cheering. That shit was so off the chain. When the match ended, like when the pay-per-view ended, people were still in the arena, still cheering for 10 straight minutes.
Oh, that was TakeOver Brooklyn 3?
Yeah, when Ciampa and Gargano fought, and that was the last man standing.
Okay.
That was like probably the best pay-per-view I ever been to, and it was the last one I went to. And I swear, like on a train ride back to Manhattan, and then going home, I couldn't talk for like the 2 days after that. My voice was just it was done. Oh, matter of fact, even after that, and when people went outside, motherfucking guys outside was having their own wrestling match. It had to be like 2,000 people covering them, and the cops was trying to get through to stop them.
Question: was that the guys that dude on the subway in the city?
No, these were some other random
some other guys. Okay. But you know the guys I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Like, I don't know when they started doing wrestling stuff, but around that time when we went, I swear it had to be like at least like 1,000 people outside the Staples Center, and we had it blocked off like a giant circle, like a ring, and it was like 6 guys in the middle of it doing Hurricane Ranas and RKOs and shit. Yeah, the cops tried to stop us from having fun, and they tried to break it up, but they couldn't get through the crowd of people to stop it. And by the time they did, it was done, and everybody disappeared like roaches turned the light on. But it was a fun time. I got to meet a lot of people. That was great.
Going back to Kenny Omega, we forgot one small topic. What's next for Kenny Omega? Is he going to continue his belt collector quest? What's the next promotion? Is it MLW? Is it NWA? Ring of Honor?
It won't be MLW.
Correct. It most likely will not be MLW because allegedly Nick Khan, that works for WWE, not of the Tony Khan family, he's allegedly in talks with MLW to send NXT people for training, like on-the-job training.
Basically, MLX and Evolve is basically WWE damn near property at this point now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll never see that match between him and another person from the Samoan dynasty. That's the match I really want to see.
So can we get Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns for the real head of the table?
I'll be okay with that because Jamie Fatu is a fucking beast.
Does that mean we get Rikishi as special guest referee?
I'm okay with this.
Because The Rock's not coming. The Rock doesn't want nothing to do with them anymore.
I would want to see that match, and I would love to see it be something, but I know Vince is going to be a Samoan tribute match or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, he's going to go overboard with all the like Samoan heritage. Yeah.
Look, tiki torches, fucking people with the flower rose around their neck. They're going to be fire spinners and fire spitters. It's going to be an outrageous dumb match for no apparent reason. It's going to be like how Vince fought Bret Hart at WrestleMania, and they bring out the game there, the rest of the whole Hart family to be lumberjacks for no fucking reason.
Well, I wouldn't say for no reason. It was basically to stack the odds against Vince because Vince has screwed the family so much.
But what were you stacking the odds against? He basically tried to pay off the Hart family and gave them their money up, so-called up front, and they turned on him. What was the purpose of this? You knew what was going to happen.
If Jacob Fatu steps foot in a WWE ring, I'd rather it be NXT than anything else because at least there.
Yeah. For his style, yes, it makes more sense. But
he won't be turned into. I mean, he might not be turned into a gimmicky thing on the main roster.
Yeah, I immediately see them doing Umaga with him.
Something. Yeah, I think he's good as he is.
Yeah.
I don't see him doing Umaga with him because if he goes to the main roster, and how Vince eats the Rock's ass for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, he's gonna be part of that. He's gonna be part of the Roman Reigns fucking table of fucking family members that is gonna make it more annoying.
Kelvin says, "Can we get the true Samoan dynasty? The Usos, Roman, Jacob Fatu, Tamina, and Nia."
I think that is a true dynasty. I would be okay with that as a group of people. Yeah, but seeing them on TV at the same time like that, we're never gonna get that. Not now, anyway.
Valdor said, I hope this is all talk with MLW will lead to the original La Parker coming to WWE with chair.
That would be nice. But
the original La Parker
also
still alive?
Kinda, yeah. it's a weird background story. You had to look it up to see, but it's kind of weird because if you read it right, it make it sound like he left. But then when you like look at it from other people's perspective that works in the company, it's like he just took a vacation.
It's funny. I had to take a trip to pick him up at the airport one time, and I had to stand in JFK with a sign that says La Parca.
Nice.
There was something I wanted to talk about. What was it again? Oh, now I remember. Let's go back to AEW real quick. Let's talk about Dolph Ziggler's brother that's over there.
Ryan Nemeth.
Okay. Fuck that. That's Dolph Ziggler number 2. I don't give a damn what they're trying to call him.
Well, he is, to me, he's one of their best heels because he knows his job and he knows his place. He sells his ass off and he bumps for everybody like Dolph Ziggler.
And that's what I wanted to get to. Why is he a carbon copy of Dolph Ziggler now, but better?
Better
by saying from a different promotion, he's the better one. That's fucking weird because if he was in WWE, he would be Dolph Ziggler all over again. If WWE was in AEW or somewhere else, he would be his brother. And it's so weird because Dolph Ziggler been in the wrestling game for how long?
What is he going on, like 14 years? 15 years?
And then his brother comes in and his brother damn near has the same gimmick. Hell, he almost got the same exact tight shorts he got on. It just doesn't have writing on it. It's just the black leather ones he used to wear when he came with the short black haircut with Vicky.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why the fuck is this dude the same exact guy?
Oh, wasn't that like post Spirit Squad?
Who knows? Pre-Spirit.
Oh, oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
And he was Kerwin White's caddy.
Oh God, please let's not remind us of that.
Freaking Guerrero.
Chavo Guerrero, and the miraculously.
Oh, Chavo.
He was not that Chavo at that time.
I know.
They gave him the most generic white name. Let him dye his hair blonde and wear a turtleneck and shorts.
Oh, man.
I know it was probably in bad taste, but I still think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah,
it was hilarious. At the same time, like your last name is Guerrero, and they made you look like you was a golfer, and I was like, well, how did you fall that far?
Well, you know what? Wrestling has a history of people playing ethnicities that they're really not. Obviously, Jamaican Kofi, but you go to Tatanka. Tatanka's not Native American. He's fucking Italian.
I know. That's fucking even more weird.
I'm fairly positive he's actually got some Native American.
No, Tatanka is Italian. I was literally just listening to this when freaking Bischoff was talking about it.
Oh, Chief Day Strongbow wasn't Native American either, I don't think, was he?
Oh, I'm sorry, Strongbow, not Tatanka.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got it mixed up. Yeah, it was Strongbow. Yeah.
Strongbow is straight Italian, like fully blooded. Like he could have been part of the FBI for real.
Santino's not Italian.
Well, no, he's Italian. I think he's just not a.
Oh no, I'm sorry, he's not Russian because he played a Russian at one point, right?
Santino has always played the Italian. He just doesn't have that thick accent. He's like he was born here, kind of.
You know,
yeah.
I'm about to say, he wasn't Italian like how when they first showed him when he first won the IC belt.
Right.
You know, when he Santino Marella.
Yeah.
I don't know why his voice was so high when he did that. But you listen to him now, he sounds like me. And I'm like, what the fuck was the purpose of that voice? No Italian speaks that high.
Who else? There was.
Oh, freaking.
This is actually kind of fun.
Yoko wasn't Japanese.
Right. Yes, he was
Samoan.
Exactly. From the Pacific,
But his defense, as big as he was and the way he looked, he fitted that role very well.
Yeah, because he looked like a sumo.
Right.
So it was easy to play it off, but he wasn't Japanese.
That's like, Kane and Undertaker to this day, people still think them niggas are brothers.
They're also not dead, so there's that.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's it. Matter of fact, let's talk about that. Have you watched the WWE Most Wanted Treasures yet?
I still got to get to that. I want to watch it so badly.
I haven't watched
it. Now,
the
thing is, when you look at it on YouTube, like the trailers, they say you can watch it on Peacock. I tried it. I tried typing it in. It doesn't show up. But if you go to A&E website, you can watch the full episodes of the first 1 and 2 on there for free.
Does NBC own A&E?
I think so, but it's just weird for so fact they would have it over there and not have it on the network also. Because like I watched the first episode through A&E, no sign in or nothing. Just hit the play button. They played the whole 35 minutes of the damn thing, and then I watched Undertaker and Kane, and then played the whole 35 minutes of that also. But when you watch the trailer on YouTube, it tells you can watch it on Peacock, but you can't find it on there.
I wonder if you can watch those biographies they did on the same way.
I think they're done by A&E. They got to be up there because they, like I said, everything that's done to A&E that's done with WWE is not on Peacock for some restricted reason. It's on A&E, like A&E only. But the WWE's Most Wanted Treasures, that show, it looked like it. I don't know why I'm so into it. The Mankind one was funny because he wanted to find the original Sacco, and he found one that one of the guys in the back made, and they basically got it for free without having to pay nobody.
I did catch a clip of that show. Apparently, there's only 15 legitimate Mr. Saccos.
So what, was he recycling them?
Yes.
That makes that movie even more gross.
Because do you not know the stories about how cheap he is?
Sure, but I mean,
he literally wore his ring gear everywhere. When he was wearing the sweats, he wore those pants everywhere.
No, hold on a second. I understand being cheap, but when you're putting something in somebody's mouth, like that's a little different.
Yeah, according to Mick Foley, there's only 15 legitimate Mr. Saccos.
Every other Mr. Sacco after he stopped wearing the Mankind shirt and started wearing the button-up shirt was literally done by production in the back by one guy.
Yeah,
and he did them like right before the shows happened. So he was on Raw. The guy was in the back drawing him up a new Sacco. So he had like a new Sacco every night he was on TV. But the original first one was all recycled, and he doesn't own not one of them. They all are gone into the streets of the world.
Yeah.
Now the Undertaker and Kane one is probably the most emotional episode ever, for the simple fact that Triple H and Stephanie asked Undertaker, do he have the original purple gear for when he changed over from the black and gray to the purple and black?
Uh-huh.
And they also wanted Kane's original first mask when he debuted in the original first Hell in a Cell, and they wanted Paul Burns' urn that was the betrayal urn that he turned on Undertaker for Mick and Brooke and Kane. So it's so cool because they like one of the guys is with them is a guy that's literally training to be a wrestler WWE, but he knows, if not no more than the historian that works with WWE. He just knows. So they got him on the payroll for wrestling in that. So he's driving around with these legends looking for stuff. Undertaker has the original coat, the original big tie, and the hat that was in his storage. He said that he put them in storage, and they've been in there for like 23 years. He has never touched them since then.
I don't know about.
He gave that. He said Undertaker said it's been there for 23 years. Like he said that it went from one place to a plastic bin in storage, and he just put it in there, and that's what it's been at. It's been in storage for that long. But Undertaker found the Phantom mask that he had.
Oh, from his face injury.
Yeah, and he explained like what was the purpose of it, and he basically sold those two to WWE for like I think it was like no he gave those two he gave them two away because he wanted that to be part of the archive, but they have everything else of his from the damn near beginning to now. The Paul Bearer urn was the hardest thing to find, and it was in the same town as Undertaker, and he didn't even know it was there.
Wow,
that is crazy.
Paul Bearer gave it to it's weird, but in Texas there is a museum dedicated for Undertaker. Paul Bearer gave that away as a gift to a guy that was just starting, and it's been the most prized possession in that museum. And when they came for it, the guy and the woman that worked there didn't want to give it up, so they had to call WWE. They gave them Paul Bearer's last suit worn on TV in the WrestleMania 30 urn as a replacement. And they let them walk out with it. Kane sold his original mask, but it ended up being the second version of it. And his original first ring gear that when he was called, and I quote, his original first ring name when he wrestled for Smoky Mountain Wrestling was called the
Unabomber.
Unabomber.
Yep.
He sold that to them for $40,000, and that money was going to a charity fund that was in his town. So they're literally just going around buying and finding stuff, and there's people out here in the world that have it, just had it for years, and they don't even know how this shit is at.
Fun fact: Kane worked in Puerto Rico before Smoky Mountain.
I don't
Really?
know, but I've seen a clip for
Yeah, Dutch Mantel is actually the person that discovered Kane, because Dutch Mantel was booking Puerto Rico at the time. Because Kane grew up, well, he was living in Knoxville, where Dutch Mantel is from. Found him. It's like, hey, come work for me in Puerto Rico. That's where he got to start. And then Kane wanted to go back to the U.S. because he didn't want to be in Puerto Rico forever. So Dutch Mantel sent him to Jim Cornette in Smoky Mountain.
Now, this is another fun fact behind that. The only reason why Kane got brought up to WWE the way he did is because Undertaker explained it. They had a crossover match between Undertaker from WWF
Yep.
versus the Unabomber.
Yep.
And Undertaker said this guy is so good that he needed him to be on the main roster, and he went and talked to Vince, and Vince pulled him. That's the only reason why we got Kane. If he didn't pull him, we wasn't gonna get Kane at all.
And Bruce Pritchard is the one that pitched the Undertaker brother angle, and conveniently that was around the same time. So like, hey, we'll get Glenn Jacobs, and he'll be the Undertaker's brother.
You know, this whole time
It was like a perfect storm.
This whole time I thought Kane just got brought in because Jerry Lawler needed a dentist.
Well,
No.
And
Even
then
though
that was like a filler thing for him.
And then Fake Diesel.
Yeah, and Fake Diesel, yeah.
You know, up until a certain
Right.
point, I didn't know that they were all the same guy.
Yeah. But the whole thing with the Kane having Undertaker having a brother, it got put on the back burner for a while, and that's why he ended up with the Isaac Yankem and Fake Diesel.
You know, Undertaker's original name was Kane.
Yeah, Kane the Undertaker, yep.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, Dark, yeah, I gotta watch it. Yeah, I gotta watch the episode because Undertaker.
Wait, what was his name in WCW? Big Red or something?
Yep. It was weird. He was
What,
like
the
Kane
Undertaker?
Undertaker
Yeah.
and Big Red. Get
Oh,
the
Mean Mark
himself
Callis.
Undertaker.
Yeah, there you go. Mean Mark Callis, yep.
Mean Mark, bro. That just sounds weird. But back then he was in shape and he was skinny and he was scared the shit out of me.
He wore assless chaps.
Yeah, let's not talk about that either.
And he used to do like diving clotheslines and shit.
Bruh, first of all, him and Kane back then, it was some two big ass dope motherfuckers. You look at them now, you like, yeah, you gotta show me proof y'all used to look like that, because there's no way in hell. But like I said, you gotta watch it, because I'm trying to figure out what the third episode is gonna be. Because there is an episode in one of the trailers where they go to Andre the Giant's family land, and the woman there is talking to Big Show and Mark Henry, and she literally goes, over that ridge of dirt on the other side of that is Andre the Giant's casket. So he's been buried on his family plot of land just like this whole time. And nobody really knew about it besides Vince, certain people over management at that time, and his family. Everybody thinks he's buried somewhere else, like in a famous plot, but he's nowhere to be found. He's literally on his family's property.
Okay, yeah, Kelvin's got it. Undertaker was called Texas Red in the Indies before he went to WCW. That was like WCCW when he was still working in Texas.
Oh, you want to hear something funny about the episode? When Stephanie and Triple H call Undertaker, and they're having a video call with him, when they get on the phone with him, Stephanie goes, "Hey, I think Undertaker got to go. He only got a limited amount of time." Triple H go, "Oh yeah, you got to make it to your bread and breakfast because you're about that age, so you got to use your coupon before it expires."
Oh shit, that's pretty
Undertaker
funny.
Undertaker said, "Hey, it lasts one more day. You can stop that. I got one more day before that expires. I can still use that." And I was like, "Why is that so funny?" Because they laugh, and I'm like, I'm not used to seeing Undertaker laugh at shit, at anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny show. Like, I don't know. I think that's probably one thing WWE finally did is good, besides Raw Underground and a couple other things. But it's good.
Hold up. You thought Raw Underground was good?
Raw
Underground
Underground was good.
Yeah,
It was good.
entertaining.
It was a good gimmick. It wasn't good, but it was a good gimmick.
It was a good idea, man.
It wasn't
the execution.
It wasn't good as like, oh, it should have been around forever. It was good for the space amount of time they had to just throw something in there that was different without having to make a whole new fucking show
Yeah,
to show it all.
yeah,
Because now they're trying to do MMA stuff. You got that video I sent you, Dar, didn't you?
yep.
Yeah, so now WWE's trying to get into the MMA world, so now they're trying to get real MMA fighters.
Funny story. Shane tried to get Vince to buy UFC in like 1996.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Shane wanted Vince to buy UFC in like 1996.
Yeah, but if he would have, it wouldn't be what it is now.
Bing. Yeah. Yeah.
It would. Well, let's hold on. Let's think about this. This is '96. That's around the Attitude Era. That's when combat sports was getting to be a thing. It probably still would have been. It's just that I don't think Vince would have.
Vince wouldn't have done the right thing the way Dana White did.
No, and here's my reason why I believe that is UFC got huge because of, well, in big part of The Ultimate Fighter, which was the reality show on Spike around 2003, 2004. They came on right after Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
So they kind of bled into each other.
Yep.
And they kind of took a lot of that audience. If Vince was in charge, he would have never allowed that to happen.
Speaking of non-wrestling shows, the list for the next season of Dark Side of the Ring has been announced. We have Pillman, we have the Collision in Korea, we have Nick Gage, Ultimate Warrior, Grizzly Smith and Jake Roberts, Dynamite Kid, the Steroid Trials, FMW, Luna Vachon, XPW, Chris Canyon, and the world famous Plane Ride from Hell.
We get any like positive shows on professional wrestling?
They're not interesting. Well, yeah, they're interesting, but you know, the train wrecks are just more interesting.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it makes wrestling look like I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a great business stuff, but like it's not, you know, like it's always painted in such a bad light.
Yeah,
it is painted in a bad light, but then you gotta look at other sports too. Other sports ain't painted in a good light either. Like at this point now, marathon bikers take drugs. Football players get bad concussions, take drugs. NBA stars do drugs or something else. At this point now, there's no sport out there that doesn't have a bad background on it. It's just wrestling more entertaining for some.
Hey. Curling. Curling is the greatest sport ever.
First of all, I don't even still know the rules of that shit. I just know how it's played.
It's not that hard. You just got to get it near the red circle. If you don't get to the red circle, you get a point for every what the hell you call it? Every stone that's still in the circle at the end of the round.
Yeah, see what you just said? Yeah, I'm gonna go back to UFC and WWE where I just beat people up and I either knock you out or get a pin, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's more entertaining.
All right, real quick before we get out of here, we got Blood and Guts next week. What's going on with Blood and Guts?
This final fucking confrontation, I hope, of fucking the Inner Circle and Prestige or whatever the fuck MJF want to call his group right now.
Pinnacle.
Oh yeah.
So when we were on the Double Turn podcast, you expressed your dislike for Inner Circle right now. Is that's why you're saying hopefully this is over?
Yeah, I really am. Like you gotta understand, I like that circle. I love Jericho. I love Guevara. I love everybody except for Jake Hager. He kiss ass. But I love everybody in there. I'm just tired of seeing them on TV every day at this point now. Like for the last few AEWs, they ain't been on there as much as long as they used to. It's great. But at the same time, I'm hoping this is the end, and then we can see like Ortiz and them doing more tag team matches instead of them always coming out in a circle and just standing there doing nothing.
I want to see Proud and Powerful against FTR, straight up tag match.
Yes.
That would be like orgasmic at this point.
All right. It's been another lovely week here at the Ultra Heelz Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, Ultra Heelz Wrestling. That's Heelz with a Z. Make sure you listen to the audio versions of the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that great stuff. We have the crossover episode with the Double Turn podcast. That was a really interesting conversation with them. I've been Darth Messiah, and you, sir?
Been Alex, the motherfucking Hill.
And we are out.